Are you ready to learn how to create an effective to-do list with ChatGPT? If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Lacaba. I run a virtual assistant company here in the Philippines named 2XU, and I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, honestly, in the last 6 months of using ChatGPT, it has changed a lot of how I see my own to-do list and also how I've modified my to-do list a lot. Now, for me, I do have my own to-do list inside of Notion. That's a tool that I use a lot. If you guys want to subscribe to Notion, I do have my own link in the description below. But basically, when it comes to my to-do list the last couple of months, I have been asking ChatGPT to break it down for me, to find ways that I could delegate to give things off to my assistant or my team. So I'm going to walk you guys through that same process that I have gone through when it came to basically keeping my to-do list up to date, or using ChatGPT when it came to actually breaking down the projects that I was even working on inside of 2XU. And to make it super easy and simple for you guys, I'm even going to do it in just 7 prompts so you don't have to keep jumping from different places. Again, this is available on our AI Prompt Assistant product. Linked will be below, but it's a collection of different prompts that you can use with ChatGPT depending on the task that you want to get done. So for creating the task list, the first thing that I'm going to go through with you is the WOAH method. Now, this is a method that I've used in a lot of the videos that I've done for this, but it's basically whenever you're starting a new thread instead of ChatGPT, you want to make sure that you start with the WOAH method. So what the WOAH method is, you start with W, which is who you are, who you serve, who this is for. So you're giving ChatGPT, before you even ask it for a request, you're already giving it context on who you are. O is the outcome. What is the outcome that you're looking for? Basically, you're asking ChatGPT to produce for you. This could be like, hey, I need this, I need help on this, I need your expertise on that. A is just an are you ready? Now, this is just to make sure that it understands what it is you're asking for. It's not getting confused and it knows what it's supposed to do moving forward. And then the H in WOAH is the how. Sometimes the how is on the second prompt. Sometimes I'll put it right as at the beginning after are you ready? But it's just a good way that as you're starting a new thread, basically instead of ChatGPT, that you have the WOAH method already ready for yourself. Now, if you haven't seen ChatGPT yet, this is basically what it looks like. So to start off, we're going to click on the new chat right there if you don't already have it, and then I'm going to highlight basically the prompt that I already have ready. So again, using the WOAH method, so I introduced myself. Like, I'm an entrepreneur running a virtual assistant agency where we hire, manage virtual assistants, blah, blah, blah. This is how many team that I have. We're working with these people. This is our target audience. And here is I need your help for my productivity and getting things done effectively in my business. So that is the outcome that I'm asking for. I needed to be an expert in helping me on a specific problem that I have in my business that I need its help. And at the very end, as you can see, I put the are you ready? So I don't have the H yet. I don't have the how, just because we'll add that in a little bit. So yes, I'm here to help. Let's dive in. So the first thing you can ask ChatGPT after you've introduced yourself is then creating your process. So if you are really starting to create your to-do list from scratch, or you might just be looking to upgrade or modify it in some way, this is the prompt that you can use. And again, for this one, I did already add the H basically of the WOAH, the how. So I put here, what would be the process for me to create an effective to-do list based on the 80-20 principle and getting things done by David Allen. Now, I put these two very specifically. If you've been in the productivity space at all, if you've been reading a lot of nonfiction books, these two are the main 2 books that I recommend for anyone who's trying to get things done. That's why I put it right in the prompt. You can make this be specific to you. Maybe you like a certain pathway or a certain author and you want ChatGPT to reference that for your to-do list. You can definitely do that. You can include a template that I can use, including the categories for the to-do list I like to use as a Kanban board for this. So again, for me, I use Notion for myself. It could depend again on the tools that you're using. You can make this more specific, but that is how I'll ask ChatGPT on how to do it. And right off the bat, it will say like, hey, based on what you've told me, this is what I've come up with. So first is collecting all tasks and ideas. This is step 1 usually when it comes to the getting things done method. Categorize the tasks by projects, next action, waiting for, and then someday and maybe, so our later file. Then applying the 80-20 principle, this is what you can do. Prioritize your tasks, schedule tasks, and then it's basically then writing out the template of what this can look like for me. So then it's an easy way for me to look at this and break things down and make it more specific for me. So for example, it's writing down, okay, this is the project, the develop business operating system for clients, create new course, plan content strategy, and the next actions is X, Y, and Z, waiting for. So it just wrote down a sample of what my to-do list can look like. Now I can make this more specific. So this is kind of a bonus out of the, I said, 7 prompts we'll be using. But just because, again, you can ask ChatGPT to be as specific as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be that you stick to what you ask for it, and then it'll just modify basically based on what you asked. So then this is now the next cool part is, let's say that you have a project that you're going through and you're about to create inside of your business. And right here, I'll be putting in the prompt since it's already made us like, hey, these are the categories that you can use for your to-do list. I put in here, can you break down the tasks that will need to get done for a project creating a client playbook? This is one of the things we're working in 2XU that would include common tasks a virtual assistant can do and how to effectively delegate it, and it will be created on Google Docs. So I just asked it to break down basically what would be tasks that will need to be done for this. It's a step-by-step process that I can do that I can then put into the to-do list. So right here, acting as kind of basically a project manager, it's broken down what are the different steps that I would need to do with my team to be able to do this project. The next is basically creating the priority. So we've just done the, we asked it to create the process, we've asked it to break down the project. Now we're actually asking it to prioritize what would be the things that we need to get done. So can you prioritize what would be done first for this project? So again, it's doing the thing that I would be doing, having to do from scratch myself if I was going to create this project without ChatGPT, but it's already breaking down like, hey, we have to go through the planning stage first, and then we're going to the content creation, and these are the tasks based on each phase of the project. So again, it makes it easier for me as a manager, as a boss, to be able to give this out to my people so then this can actually get done. However, we have a few more steps. Now that it has created the prioritization for it, we're going to ask it to create the timeline. So very much, you're basically just creating a project manager virtual assistant when it comes to using ChatGPT. But right here, can you create the timeline and due dates for each task? So then it's going to break down the same thing. It's just going to do estimates. It's not human, so it can't really fully comprehend how long each task is going to take. But then you can make it as customized as possible. You can just use it as a template that you and your team can now follow. But as you can see, like, hey, define purpose and goals of the client playbook, day 1. That probably is a lot faster to do as a human. But then again, ChatGPT is just breaking it down based on what it knows and it estimates. Format content into easy use playbook. It says you can do it in 2 days. Create content for each task. It says that you can do it in a week or 2. So each part of this is already breaking down. So then you have kind of just a good estimate of how long this project will take. Now, the last part of this of creating your effective to-do list with ChatGPT is to delegate. So when it comes to delegate, I have a quick prompt that you guys can use, which is basically what would be tasks from the list that I can delegate and who should I delegate it to. So then I'm just gonna ask it like, hey, based on what you wrote up above, who would be the perfect people for this? So right off the bat, it went through again the phases that it wrote up above and already trying to delegate, okay, this is the kind of person who would be perfect for this. So identifying the most common tasks performed by virtual assistants can be delegated to a virtual assistant with experience in client management. Basically, whoever in your team has already managed clients before, they're the perfect people to ask for that. When it comes to organizing the playbook, can be delegated to a project manager or team leader. When it comes to content creation, can be delegated to someone who has experience in task analysis or process documentation. So it's already giving you like, hey, this is the team that you would need. So then the next thing here is essentially, can you write up instructions for each person I'm delegating these tasks to? So then, breaking down already who I need to delegate. So for example here, phase 1, task 2. So it already said here, phase 1, task 2, it's delegating this to a team lead or a project manager. I could just copy and paste this right here and give it to someone on my team. So start reviewing the tasks that your virtual assistant typically perform for a client, create a list of the common tasks, and then identify any tasks that require additional research or expertise. So I can just copy and paste that to a team lead or someone who's been working with our virtual assistants. Next is, effective way to organize a playbook. I can, again, copy and paste this to someone who, again, from here can be delegated to a virtual assistant with experience in task analysis or process documentation. I can delegate it to that person. So it broken down literally the instructions basically of how they would be able to do it, knowing what this whole project is about. So fairly quick and easy to create your own admin to-do list now, because ChatGPT has literally broken down who's supposed to be in charge of what they're supposed to be doing, their own basically OKRs or objectives and key results, and then you now have a to-do list for a whole project that you're currently doing. Now, if you want this to be more personalized, you can again modify this to, hey, this is a personal project I'm working on, or hey, can you help prioritize this task that I'm currently doing? But that's one of the cool things that you can do in ChatGPT is you can customize and ask it based on what it is specifically that you need, and when you want it to be done, you know, your own timeline, so on and so forth. And keep in mind that the more customized you are on asking ChatGPT for what it is that you need, the more that it can give you those custom responses or more specialized replies, because you've given it feedback of like, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. As in a quick example for you guys, then I put in, can you group this based on the team member who's going to receive the instructions per task? So it just gave me like, hey, for the virtual assistants, these are going to be their tasks basically, and how we can give them those instructions. And then later on, as this kind of keeps going on, it'll give me for, you know, for your project manager, for your team lead, so on and so forth. It will break down that of who it is I'm giving to whom. So right there for project manager and team leader, this is, you know, based on the phase and what task, it's giving those instructions as well. So ask it as specific as you can, and it really helps when you create threads like this because it gives itself the background of what it is that you are needing from ChatGPT. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what other ways do you want me to use ChatGPT in your everyday life. I would love to create a new video just for that. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so don't miss any videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Now, if you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!